So there are three ways to say and in Korean. The first way is by putting the base plus da, and only is there if there is a consonant in the base of the verb, at the end of the base. So what this one is used for, it's an action verb that needs to go here, da, and then verb of motion, and that's the limiting factor. There needs to be a verb of motion. This is going or coming to do something. So I go to the department store to buy clothes. 옷을 사러 백화점에 가요. That's I go to the store to buy clothes, and that's the feeling this and gives. So I go to the store and I buy clothes. Another way you could use this is by saying I'm going to the park with my dog to play. 걔랑 놀러 공원에 가요. 걔랑 놀러 공원에 가요. That means I'm going to the park to play with my dog. So this one is always an action verb, da, and then the verb of motion. It always has to be like that. That's the limiting factor. But what you're doing here is you're emphasizing the fact that you're moving to do something. The second way to say and is a cause and effect, or a sequential and. So the two actions that it's going to link are related to each other. And again, we can relate this to the two examples that I just gave. So how to make this one, you need to take the infinitive that we learned in the infinitive plus yo lesson, then attach it to saw. And honorific bases will, instead of take se saw, it will be sho saw, as we learned in the past. Only it's just shiot then ya, and then it's saw. So this one's more like you're trying to emphasize the fact that you're buying something. And so if we put the first example in this form, it would be 백화점에 가서 옷을 사요. So I'm going to the department store and I'm buying clothes. But what you're emphasizing is the fact that you're buying clothes. You could have also said for the second example, 걔랑 공원 가서 놀아요. So I'm going to the park with my dog to play. And play is what you're trying to emphasize in that one. Now notice that this is sequential. So you're going to the park to do something. So it's sequence. You're going, then you're doing something. Also you can say sequential as in it's because of something. So let's take the example. I drank coffee, and because I drank the coffee, I had to go to bed late. Which is 커피를 마셔서 늦게 잤어요. So that means I drank the coffee and that's why I kind of went to bed late. That brings me to my third type of and. It's ko. So add any base plus ko. So any of the bases at all that we learned, add ko. So the past tense for 갔고 works. 가겠고, 가시고, or 가고. This one is describing the fact that the two actions you're about to say are not related at all. So if they were related, you would have said the infinitive plus saw, but instead you chose this way, so the two actions don't have anything to do with each other. For example, we're going to take the sentence that we just used about drinking coffee and sleeping late. Saying it in this form has a different feeling. 커피를 마시고 늦게 잤어요. So I drank coffee and I went to bed late. Nothing really happened between them. It was just the fact that I happened to drink coffee and I happened to go to bed late. That's all. And to emphasize how random sometimes these sentences can be, because they can literally attach anything you want with them, you can say, I like cats and I'm watching TV. 고양이를 좋아하고 TV를 보여요. So simple stuff like that. You can just attach anything you want. So the first one we learned, remember, it's an action verb, then a movement verb, and you're emphasizing the movement. The second one, it's sequence, or it's cause and effect, when the two actions are related to each other and they caused each other to happen, or one happened because of another. That's when this one's used. And the third one is completely random. This happened to happen, this happened to happen. That's just how it went down. It's really often used with descriptive verbs as well. One more trick I want to teach you is putting the one that we learned second, the infinitive plus saw, plus 죽겠어요 or 죽겠다. This gives you the feeling that you're so whatever that you're gonna die. So 무서워서 죽겠어요. I was so scared I was gonna die. Or 심심해서 죽겠어요. I was so bored I was gonna die. And things like that. So that's a really common phrase in Korean. You'll hear it a lot, especially the 무서워 one when maybe you're climbing Mount Sorak, which is really exciting but really scary at the same time. Often what Koreans do also is drop saw. So they'll just say 무서워 죽겠어요. I was so scared I was gonna die, but you drop saw. That's really common. You'll hear that sometimes. Saw is slowly starting to diminish from really set phrases like this, and that's one example of that. So keep practicing with this. We'll have examples of everything that I just said on the right hand side. Go to my site, learn your vocabulary, practice speaking to Koreans, have fun. Thanks for listening. Bye.